let's talk about those people around you that know it all, that hold the whole truth. Those people that don't want to listen, that are not receptive, that simply refuse to move from their rigid place. Is there someone in your relationships right now that gives you headaches for this very reason? If there is, let's explore together what is self-righteousness, how it develops, what is its impact, and how can you free yourself from this pain? Or maybe how can you help others free themselves from this suffering? If you live in the West, you've gone already through 2 decades of education in the family, in the school, all programming. And the scope of everything was to make you knowledgeable, to make you learn as much as possible, and to be able to prove that you really know. That made you believe that you must be in the right all the time. And after decades of conditioning, you wouldn't dare to say you don't know something. You would feel ashamed. You would think people might consider you stupid. They might laugh at you. So you grow up with this idea that you are right, that you know the truth, and you must be right. And you live with this illusion of self-righteousness until you awaken. Or if you struggle to embrace awareness until you get in trouble. Because when you live from this place of owning the whole truth, you can't live in peace with the others. And you struggle to be considerate towards the others. Of course, you also struggle to be caring towards yourself. So life is really unpleasant when you live from a place of self-righteousness, of always being right. You are trapped in this mental prison. You are rigid and you can't move past your limited beliefs. And life is quite lonely and unpleasant when you live from that place of self-righteousness. You are tense. Your mental activity is always hyper. You are ruminating a lot, your obsessions. You feel depressed, you feel anxious, maybe of your next encounters. Maybe you self-medicate with cigarettes, with alcohol, with major drugs, with gaming, with gambling, with eating, and so on. In a word, you're not happy. And despite the fact that you're miserable and your relationships suffer, something stops you to let go, to accept that you don't really know, that you might be wrong, that this is the true nature of reality, that everything is relative, that what you think is right might be only a limited idea in your mind, your subjective experience, that you are not perfect and you will never be, and you can't possibly know everything. That's it. There is something that stops you to accept that your relationship with truth, it's more complex than this. But if you want to be happy, you might have to accept that you don't have to be right. You can accommodate new ideas and remain open to the possibility of not knowing, of not being sure. And with this awareness, then comes a new understanding of a new way of being, of a new way of relating with yourself, of relating with the others, and of course, of a new way of relating with the truth. And I say to you, you can heal yourself of everything, including your rigid self-righteousness. You can open your mind and your heart to a new life, a life of wonders, a life of curiosity, a life of acceptance, of this transient nature of life. And when you get there, my friend, your life will blossom. Your relationships will flourish, and life will just flow around you and through you with joy and with excitement, because you no longer have to pretend that you know everything. You no longer have to pretend that you have everything figured out. You no longer have to pretend that you are adequate, you are sufficient, you're good enough. And you just start accepting yourself exactly the way you are, and you care less about the pressure from the outside world, what other people think and say, and you care more about your inner peace and this beautiful feeling of alignment, of understanding and acceptance of what is, then eventually helps you surrender, and you grow inside from a limited, a rigid, trapped in the mind, self-righteous attitude to an inclusive, open, and mindful stance. That feels so pleasant and joyful. I wish you get there if you haven't already, and you start experiencing life from this place of expansion and not from constriction. That was my message for you today. I hope this was helpful. Thank you so much to all of you that have subscribed over the past few weeks and months. All of you that are supporting this channel, I am deeply grateful to all of you. Carry on doing it, share, like, and subscribe, and nevertheless, stay present.